Hello everyone, thank you for joining us on another video. Today's video we're going to do some customizing of these Carbonite blocks that came with the Razor Crest. Alright, once again thank you for joining us, and it's been a long time since we've done a customizing video. The last one we did was when we did our custom Black Series Mandalorian figure with Beskar armor. That was a couple years ago before Hasbro made the Beskar armor figure. We took an original one and customized it with Beskar armor. And here's the figure, just in case you were wondering what it looked like. This is how it turned out. I don't have the cape on it right now. I did make like a little plasticky soft goods type cape, or vinyl I guess you could say. But yeah, it was pretty cool to have this, before an actual Beskar figure was released, because it took Hasbro like a year and a half to release a Beskar armor Mandalorian. And when they did release it, it was hard to find. We never found that figure on the original release. So today's video, one of the things that really bugged me about the Haslab Razor Crest was the 4 Carbonite blocks that came with the Razor Crest are just molded plastic. There's no paint apps on them. There's no details on these Carbonite blocks. I mean, there's molded details, but there's no paint details or anything. So, it's just molded gray plastic. And I wanted to put some details into these, and that way they, match the Razor Crest, because the Razor Crest is so detailed. And these are just, plastic. It was kind of a letdown. So, and here we have an example of the Black Series Carbonite block of Han Solo. You can see Hasbro, of course this is a lot bigger scale, this 6-inch scale, but you can see Hasbro did a dirt wash over this, and then they went with some silver dry brushing, and over the high points they just kind of silver dry brushed it, but very little, just very little. There's some on the hands, some on where his shirt and pants are, and then a little around his face, but that's it. And of course on the side here you got some silver paint apps and that little green screen there, I think, which showed like Han Solo's vitals. When they looked to see if he survived the freezing process, they looked at this little screen, and I guess it told them his vitals, like if he was alive. So I plan on doing that to these Carbonite blocks. And there's 2 different ways you can go about this. You can do the Hasbro route, where I think what I think they did was they just dirt washed it, and then they went through and did some silver dry brushing over the high points. And what I think I'm going to do is, actually I've already started. I've got, you see here, there's 3. One of them I've already started. I'm going to paint. What I did was I painted this one silver all the way over. I just went over it with the Molotow liquid chrome pen, so it's highly reflective, highly silver now. And this is already dry, so I've already did an example, and you can see the difference there. It looks pretty good. And then I'll do a dirt wash over this and tone it down some. But first off, I'm going to do the mithril in this silver, that way you can see what I did. And if you ever need one, these are, I highly recommend these. These are really cool. This is the closest you're going to get to actual chrome in a paint. It is highly reflective. That's what I used on the Mandalorian Beskar armor figure. And really cool stuff. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to go around using this chrome pen, and just going to go around, lay down some of this paint. And I'm just going to go out to the edges of it. I'm not going to go into the border here. I'm going to paint his face. Now I'm not going to worry about this. This is like the really thick tip marker. So it's not going to get down in all the little grooves. I'm not going to worry about that because the black wash is going to settle in those anyway. So if you decide to do this route. Yeah, don't worry about getting down into the grooves with the silver, because it's just going to be black washed anyway. So I'm just hitting the high points, just trying to be consistent with it. My marker here doesn't have a whole lot left in it, so I'm hoping to have enough to do these carbonite blocks. Then on the flat areas, just kind of go through, and a lot of times I like to make little circles, and it lays down pretty flat, doesn't show swirls or anything as it's drying. And I'm going to put a little bit on his foot here that sticks out. There's only one foot sticking out on the Mithro. And I got a little bit left here on the leg. So as you can see there, I got pretty good coverage. Let's see, I missed a little bit of this area. Looks like this stuff's so highly reflective when you got light shining on it, you can't tell. It's hard to tell what parts you've hit and what part if you've missed a little spot. So just kind of keep moving it back and forth, and then those little spots will show up as the light changes on it. So that looks pretty good. There you can see I've got him covered pretty good with the silver. I'm going to set him over to the side to dry. And then I'm going to get the Rhodium here, which is already dry, and I'm going to start using some Tamiya Panaline Accent Colored Black, and I'm going to do the wash with this stuff. This stuff is great. I highly recommend it if you're doing panel lines on vehicles, or just a black wash over something. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to do a black wash over this. Really great stuff. You can see there, it comes with a very fine tip brush on the handle here. When you apply it, just lean the carbonite block up, and then just let the gravity do the work. It'll start flowing around like his head and stuff, and it'll go down in all the little crevices and stuff. A little bit goes a long way with this stuff, so it doesn't take a whole lot. We want to fill all the little crevices and make everything black. Now to tone down this chrome, I might have to go over it 2 or 3 times with this black wash to get it really toned down the way that where it's not so bright. But I think it'll create a great contrast. You have the chrome and the black. It'll just make this piece look a lot better. The way it probably should have been with this being a Haslab project. This should have been a detailed part. I know that they did so much work on the vehicle, they just kind of overlooked these little accessories. So I got him outlined there in the black wash, and right away you can see it brings out all the little details in that Rhodium. His head really shows up now. Looks really cool. and make it a little spread out evenly. See, it's going nicely in those little holes and crevices, bringing out the details. I know the light is really bright and it's hard to tell with the reflectivity. It's hard to tell. Now I've got a little puddle down here at the bottom, so I'm going to spread that out and run that around the line, the outside line of the carbonite. Just take the brush and run it, spread it out. And that brings out that raised area. And if you get a little too much, like I think I got a little too much on the outside here, I don't want it on this outside frame right here. You can just take your paper towel and just wipe it off. And if it dries pretty quick, so if it doesn't come off, you can just re-wet it, and usually that'll bring it off. There's a little hole at the top there. You can fill it, put the black in, and then around that edge. So I'm pretty happy with that. That looks pretty good on the top. You can see the black wash settling in all the little holes and really bringing out all those details. And then your silver still shows up nicely on all the raised areas. And now for the sides, I am going to, I did highlight the control panels with some silver, and I'm going to go over these control panels with some of this black wash to bring out more details in it. Now this last one on the front, I think it has the green, it's supposed to have a little green screen on it, so I'm going to try to put some green paint on that to replicate that screen. It's not very molded very well on this side, but on this side you can clearly see that's supposed to be the little green screen there, so I might just do it on this side. I don't know. These are a little different on each. Yeah, the front one's a little different. These three are the same, but this one's different. Now on this side, the molding is the same way. These three are the same. The top one is a little different. So what I'm going to do is I'll just put the black wash on this side of it, and then I'll leave that screen part right there silver, and then I'll try to apply a little green paint to that a little bit. All right, so I believe this one, we're going to let this one dry. Looks pretty good. Looks like it's still got a little bright areas on the edges there, and any bright areas you want to tone down, just put your little layer of this and then just start spreading it out and blend it in. So we're going to let this one dry, and we'll see how it looks when it's completely dry. All right, so we're back, and we've got the Rhodium is dry now, and I've got all the rest of the three here with the silver coat on it. And you can see here, and the camera is making this a lot more reflective than it actually is. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. One coat actually was enough, I think, to bring out the details, and the black settled into the low areas. Let me adjust the light in here. I'm going to turn off this light and see if that helps. It's still on camera, it's still showing a lot brighter and more reflective than it actually is. It actually, in real life, it's really dull. Kind of looks dull, and you can just really see all the details in that mold. So I don't know if it's coming across on camera like that, but I'm really happy with the results of this. It looks really good, and a huge improvement over the just plain plastic mold that they released on these. So what we're going to do, we're going to do the rest of them. I'm happy with the results. I'm going to do the rest of them just like that, and I'll show you the finished product. Okay, we're back, and we have all four of them done, and I believe they're pretty much dry now, and they turned out pretty good. A huge improvement over the just molded plastic. And just for a real quick comparison, I also got this Han Solo Carbonite, and this came with the Vintage Collection Slave 1, the latest version of it. And just check out the detailing on the side of it. I mean, you can see it's a much better mold. I don't know why they didn't use this for the basis of these four carbonite blocks. A whole lot more details, even color, even they have paint apps on the control panels. And you can see here, for comparison, I went on and painted some silver paint apps and did a black wash over the ones that came with the Razor Crest. And you can see much cleaner mold. You can see the controls a lot better. And I mean, these were a Haslab project. That makes no sense. Now on the other side, there's no paint apps on that side, but on this side, they even painted the little screen blue that, shows the vital, whoever's is frozen in carbonite. And I thought it was more of a greenish color, and that's what I did with this Rhodium here. I went on and painted the screen. I'll use this green zinc chromate color for the little screen there. And even though it's normally on one side, I went on and did, since it's the same mold, I went on and did that side too, just to give it a little extra detail and color. So I haven't did the others yet, so I'm going to do one as an example on camera. And looks like my paint dried up a little bit. So just put your green paint in there, and just a brush it's gotten all spread out, so it's not very good. But that's all you need, is just a little dab in that little square molded area, and then that brings a little extra detail to your carbonite block. And if you want to, you can even go on and put some paint apps on these little buttons and stuff. But I think I'm just going to leave mine silver. And just highlight the little monitor screen that's on there. All right, so here we go. We have all four finished and completed, and I gotta say, I'm really happy with the way these turned out. All of them are fully painted now and should be dry. And there you can see, and even you can add more details if you want to, but I'm gonna stop at this point. But here's all the things I used: the chrome pen, a jar of light green paint, and then the Panaline accent color by Tamiya, which works really well. So yeah, I'm gonna hopefully put some photos up, a little slideshow after we conclude, and stay tuned for that. and we'll show these Carbonite blocks with the Razor Crest. So thank you for watching the video. Please drop a like down on this video, leave us a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you're new here.